Yes, y'all. You know what time it is. Time for you to slip in one headphone. Make sure the boss isn't looking as you listen. Time for you to put that Stairmaster up to level 7, baby girl. It's that time. It's time for the one and only, the LP Variety Hour. It's the LP Variety Hour. It used to be really skinny, but now people say it's gonna be. It's the LP Variety Hour. LP Variety Hour. It's coming to you. If you don't like listening to people talking, you should definitely turn off the video. Woo! LP Variety Hour. Yeah! Well, hello there, my little sunshine butt princess. Welcome to the LP Variety Hour. Number 3. That's right, guys. We're on number 3. I can't believe I've made 3 of these things. You guys leave so many positive comments, and I want to thank you guys so much for that. I hope that if you guys are listening, when you guys are listening to this right now, I hope it is getting you through something terrible. I hope it's like the most grueling cardio ever. I hope I make it pleasurable and the time just fly by. I am honored by some of the comments that I get, like that you guys. Chelsea Lifts, I think she commented that she was, or she texted me. I don't remember how I got the message, but she said that she was listening to the LP Variety Hour number 2 to get through cleaning the house. You know how cool that is, man? That is so cool, man. I got big YouTubers listening to my little, I don't know what you call it. It's a YouTube cast, YouTube talk show. I have no clue. I guess on a talk show you'd probably have guests, so what really is this? It's a mystery. Although some of the best things in life, they just come alive in front of you. They don't need any kind of definition whatsoever. As long as you have just a real open mind and let the flower blossom and the dew build on the flower in the morning, you could take out your camera and take a picture in the sunrise. I don't know where that was going. Anyhow, to my first subject, and this is kind of a weird one. It's got me a little bit frustrated today. I dealt with something at the cell phone store where I'm just going to sum up the situation so it doesn't get too long. I don't seem like a stupid person that just had as a podcast or whatever you call this, a YouTube cast or whatever, to complain about his daily life. Basically, I had the person behind the counter tell me that the cell phones are made to go obsolete on purpose so that you buy new cell phones sooner. And that's why I should buy a new one. That's what that person does all day. This person knows that, I mean, think of that, like, you know that your company is selling people obsolete things and you still work there. Like, you're morally okay with that. Well, they pay me good. All right then, man. And so that gets me on to my next subject. It's a weird thing to me, zombies. Zombies are like such a big thing in the media and in the movie world, in the TV world, everywhere. Zombies are huge. It's so weird to me. And I have this weird thing where if you think about it, if you replace the word brains, because zombies are always after brains, if you replace that with other words, things get very interesting. Like if you replace the word brains with the word Air Jordans, or money, profit, Instagram likes, whatever you want. You can just insert anything in there. People are very weird. I've noticed people will drop a lot of morals and a lot of cognitive thought when it comes to money. Like if you pay someone a lot of money, the moral things that they will do wrong, it's pretty bad, man. It's horrible. And I hate to talk about it. I don't mean to be like a negative person or nothing, but they always talk about zombies all the time. And they're after your brains. So if you think about that, like you work at your job, right? So you work every day for, let's say, 8 hours. Or let's say, I don't know, you're a lumberjack and you chop wood. Old school. You chop wood for 12 hours a day. You're a big badass lumberjack and you got a beard and stuff. Those you spent your 12 hours, that's like you're thinking during that time. You're working. It's your work. Like you had to think. It's kind of your life force, you know? If you're working a hard job right now and you're listening to this or whatever you're doing, I mean, it's your life force. You're concentrating, you're thinking, you're working on doing something. And so when you look at it like that, and you look at how companies sometimes, well, quite often, corporations and stuff, they really trick people into just spending their money on like something that is just not really that good at all. But because it has so much marketing around it. See, I'm into cars and I work on cars, so I understand a lot of cars, it's literally the commercial is the most important part. It has nothing to do with the car itself at all. Like if people understood how a lot of cars work mechanically and how they're built and the warranty junk that you're blinded with, it's incredible. And it's terrible that people can trick you into spending your money. It's bad. And I noticed that like a lot of media just has unobtainable things, like a lot of rap videos, a lot of movies, a lot of TV shows. I hate to accuse TV all the time of its terribleness, but it's pretty terrible. I look at TV, it's like one of the most terrible things in our society is television. It's horrible. There's a channel called the Learning Channel, and all it is reality shows. That's all it is, guys. TLC, the Learning Channel. There's no learning going on Kate Plus 8 or whatever that show was. It's all reality shows now, man. Can't call it the Learning Channel. That's just how it is, man. Anywho, they put all sorts of unobtainable things on television, and you get blinded by it. You crave these things, and yet you work at this job where you don't make enough money to, you know, buy the Escalade that you saw and you're in the latest Riff Raff video or whatever it is. It's like, it's weird to me how when you do dangle those things in someone's little periphery, if you do dangle the money there, they are ready to tackle that money, man. They will morally do some wrong things just because you put money in front of them, because they've got that craving for the Escalade that they saw on TV, you know, the new Lexus commercial, or you know, whatever it is, man, that big gold chain or the new cool Oakleys. Man, I do not understand those expensive sunglasses sometimes. They make polarized sunglasses that are like $16, bro. They look cool. Whatever. Anywho, they're just like, I don't know, man. You get wrapped up in really stupid stuff real quick, like a $250 pair of headphones. Some guy that doesn't even drive a car, has to ride the bus, will have $250 pair of headphones. How's that make sense, man? And he'll have a matching outfit, Air J's with the matching basketball shorts and the thing. And you're like, that's like a $150 outfit you got. No, that's like a $250 outfit you got on, man. A $250 head, that's $500. That's like half quarter of a car, so that's pretty. Come on, man. I just feel like people are zombies for just silly things that they don't even understand. They're just chasing silliness. And I feel like you can snap out of this by finding something that you're good at, that you're passionate about. If there's something that you make, if you make little weird clay bracelets and that's what makes you super duper happy, you need to do that in your spare time. Do not watch TV. Don't watch TV. Time yourself and see how many See how many cool clay bracelets you can make if that's what you want to do. If you like doing like spirograph or weaving, or if you're a knitter and you like knitting kerchiefs or knapsacks or whatever, if you're a knitter, see how quick you can knit a bag. See how quick you can knit a bag. See how long it takes to knit that bag. And then, let's say it takes you 1 hour to knit a really cool bag for someone, or a scarf, or whatever it is. Next time you sit down and watch TV, go ahead and time how long you watch TV. If it's 2 or 3 hours, you could have made 2 or 3 of those cool little bags or kerchiefs or whatever you do. Let's say you're a fabricator and you fabricate, cool parts for off-road cars. You could see how much you make in, hours. Next time you watch TV, be like, oh man, I could have been doing that instead. Or whatever it is, man, you could be sitting if there's something like this LP Variety Hour, I feel, now that with all the positive comments, I would feel bad watching TV instead of doing this. I'm really not kidding, guys. Like that's how I look at it. It's just so silly to me. People just wasting time on television. It's just luring you into wanting things all the time. Like if you look at sometimes how important it is for some dudes when they enter let's just say a bar, or no, a restaurant. Let's say a restaurant. Some guys, they have to make sure and look at every single girl in the entire, thoroughly check them out. Be like, that one's like an 8.5. That one right there, she's like she's like a 6.39. Yeah, for sure. Okay, no, that one right there, whoa, she's like a 9.6 for sure. And it's because they've watched so much television or seen some kind of media over and over and over. Maybe it's adult entertainment, just saying. But that's what is important to them. It's been put in front of them so many times, and they've been shown that this is what's important. Sexiness and pretty girls. That's what's important. So they become like a zombie for it. And when you start applying the zombie word to a lot of things, this is a long one, guys. I'm sorry, this subject got elongated very long. But when you apply the word zombie to, a lot of things, it's weird how you start looking at things completely differently. It's so strange. It's some people are zombies for, if you look at the way, I'm sorry, I have to talk about this. Some girls are like zombies for, not aestheticness, but, being pretty. And, I mean, they'll go to a guy's house at midnight that they've been seeing for, a year, and they'll do their makeup in the car before they go into his house, even though they're just watching a movie and they're going to cuddle. It's dark. No one can even see a little baby girl. It's okay. Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. People are zombies for weird things, man, and it doesn't do anything. You need to become a zombie for something cool. I don't know, do something that helps people or something. Don't be a zombie for... Make sure that the thing that you're a zombie for isn't making anybody money. Don't let somebody profit off of you with your passion. That's not good, man. I feel like a lot of passions involve a lot of profit for people, and it really bugs me, man. Try and stay away from that. Especially in the YouTube game right now. A lot of if you're a YouTuber, a beginning YouTuber, and you're listening, you don't need the best camera at all. You do not need the best camera. I'm sitting here in a room full of nice there's a camera sitting next to me. It is $6,000. Guess what? I use my tiny little waterproof weird vlog camera. That's what I like to do, man. Just have charisma. Make it happen. You don't need to buy all the expensive things. Charisma can get you so far, guys. You can vlog with your camera, with your camera phone. It's not even a big deal. Everybody does it. It's no big deal. Be charismatic. Have fun. That's what counts. not buying things and looking cool. Not that. Don't buy the newest, best camera. Everybody's wrapped up in this. What's this new thing coming out? This confounded 60 frames per second on YouTube. I'm probably gonna get bagged on in the comments on this. But I just feel like it looks weird when I see someone in 60 frames per second. As a person that edits video, I just feel like it makes it look really awkward. Like it looks strange to me at that high. But whenever I watch those TVs that put out that high frame rate, it looks so it almost freaks. It feels like psychedelic or something. It's very strange. It's almost too real. Very, very weird to me. Really just a few steps away from a hologram almost. It's just strange. Kind of takes out the theatrics of things. Like, I think my videos are in like 24 or 23.97 frames per second, I believe it is. 23.97? Yeah, I think it's 23.97 frames per second. I think my videos are in. I think that's what it is. Oh, no, wait, I'm looking right here. I think it's 23.976 frames per second. I think. Oh, man, don't hold me to that. Anyhow, I don't know. I just feel like it looks real strange. Anywho, on to the next subject, guys. I'm very sorry. That got very, very long. That was a little bit crazy. I want to talk about a lot of people on YouTube get real big YouTubers. I think within my local circle, a lot of my local boys, Obese to Beast and my brother included, I think they recognize this quite a bit. You have like a superpower, man. Like a YouTube superpower. You are very popular. If you just leave a comment on somebody's video, it can do them so much. Oh, man. Like, I think my last deadlift video, Tim Thibodeau commented on the video. And I mean, on a deadlift video, that's a pretty big deal, man. That's pretty cool that Tim Thibodeau came in and watched and left a comment, man. That's pretty sweet. People are going to see that. It's kind of like a badge of honor. And, I said, hey, man, big people coming in, commenting, and Tim Thibodeau's like, oh, whatever, man. We're friends, whatever. Still, it's a very big deal, man. You're a very popular person. It's cool. Thanks for coming in. Numbers do count. We can all beat around the bush, and we can all say that, oh, doesn't matter how many subs you have. We're whatever. I'm very happy if someone that has a very large channel comes into my channel and comments. That's awesome, man. Because you know what? It shows up all sorts of places, and it's yet another comment. People see and they go, oh, man, Tim watches this. Definitely subscribing. In out of 10. Done. And so if you're a big YouTuber now and you're listening to this, well, first of all, thanks for listening, man. I'm honored. That's really cool. I'm not trying to beg for comments or nothing, but if you are a big YouTuber, leave a comment, please. That'd be pretty cool. I'm very curious of who listens to my stuff. I think that a lot of people do not realize the pull that they have. Like Luther Trainin, if you're listening to this, shout out to you, man. I love you. You are an awesome person. One of my favorite YouTubers. Anywho, it was weird to see him in an expo because he didn't realize how awesome he is. He's an awesome guy. And like him commenting on, like, if you're a power lifter and you're like trying to critique your form or something, if he were to come into your video and comment on it, oh man, that's really cool. That's awesome, man. Like, that's Candido's friend, bro. Like, that's a big deal, man. That's really cool. Speaking of, I don't know. I just think people don't realize how awesome they are. Like, they're YouTubers out there. You're amazing, and I think that they have more power than they even know. They don't even understand. It's pretty cool. This neat, influential platform that we found here. This video thing, talking about fitness and helping people, motivating people. It's neat, man. Anyhow, I need to go ahead and get on to my next subject. And this is something my baby girl was talking about. It's actually something I think she either wrote a paper about in one of her classes or I think read somewhere. And it's that, how whenever teenagers are just like, some of them, they are really crazy. they're psycho. They are nuts. And then nowadays, they are just like supercharging them with those passive aggressively sexy music videos and stuff. But anyhow, so the reason that, well, this is the theory. It's a theory. I'm not telling you this is why at all by any means. I'm not trying to like say this a fact, but the theory is that the reason that teenagers are always like crazy and all hormonal and nutty and they like flip out real easy is because we're still adapted to only live to be like 30 or 40 years old from back in the day. People used to only live 30 years. That's it. Like 30 or 40 years, done. Goodbye. Like I'm almost done. I'm 32. Like I'm almost dead back in the day. Now I'm just a blossoming little lily in the sunshine. But anyhow, what they're saying is that the reason that teenagers are so crazy like that is that back in the day, if you were out on your own trying to survive and stuff like that, you were like, 13 years old, you're kind of little still. If you're a girl, especially, way back in the day, like before there was civilization and stuff like that, just walking around, some big dude might come around and try to, do something to you sexually or something like that. I don't mean to talk, I'm just saying that's probably how it would be back then. Not applying this to now or anything like that. I'm not into that kind of thing. But, so them being hormonally charged and ready to flip out about something and get very physical and crazy and run, it's a good thing because they needed to be in survival mode. They're in their teens. They're out on their own, maybe, I don't know, collecting berries or I don't know what we were doing before civilization and all that. But anyhow, so what they are also talking about in this, I think it was an article she was reading, is that how humans we haven't really evolved that much. But technology, on the other hand, it keeps getting real crazy real quick. Like, if you consider, let's just go back maybe like 5 years. If you had someone in high school that you wanted to contact, there was no Facebook at all. Like, it's crazy now, man. There's a lot of technology that connects us, and there's lots of moral situations with that technology, lots of all sorts of things. But if you really think about it, we haven't evolved that much. We haven't like changed. I don't mean to talk about evolution. I don't mean to get into any like religious subjects or nothing like that. I don't like to call it evolution. I like to call it changing, getting better. Evolution brings up a lot of weird things for people. Anywho, we haven't advanced that much, but the technology keeps getting way crazy. And I don't know, it got me thinking, if you think about how some people are pretty mentally imbalanced, like really, like, that guy in traffic where, it's stop and go traffic, he's just sitting there flipping out in his car for no reason. If you just stop, man, like, that's how it is. Or, whoever that dumb guy is at the gym that's all pesto aggresso about everything. Those people, if you give them technology and the ability to intake more things, their problems, I feel like, just accelerate even more, and they just grow even further. Like, I don't know, like, it's weird to me. Like, if you have some kind of problem, there are so many technologies around you just like throwing information at you all the time. Just all the time. You've got Facebook, you've got the Twitter, Instagram, this, television, that, newspaper, all these things. And I mean, if you were to go back a few years where there was a little bit less technology and you just kind of heard your news from the guy, the little boy walking down the street with the newspaper or whatever, I don't know, man. I feel like those people might have a better chance at looking at themselves and the mental imbalances that they have and being able to recollect themselves, identifying the problem instead of just ingesting all this craziness that media and technology is sometimes. It's just kind of crazy, man. Like, I was thinking about something the other day, and I got kind of mad about what was it? It was oh yeah, the neighbor. He's got a diesel truck, man. Oh, it's one of these diesel trucks where it's just short of having the diesel stack come out of the actual bed up near the roof. You know what I'm talking about? One of those diesel trucks. Not a semi. We're not talking about semi, just a normal driving truck that spits all that black stuff everywhere and all that. People are really into that stuff now. I think it's kind of cool, but whatever. Just don't live right next to me and then like wow, 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 woo, woo, woo. Sounds like a spaceship, man. Those diesels, they don't even sound good. They spit black smoke everywhere. Anyhow, I was thinking to myself, he was moving his truck or something, being really loud, and I was like, and I was so angry about it. I was like, ugh, so pissed. And I was like, man, this is a real first world problem. Then I thought about it, I was like, never mind. I'm really not that mad about it. Whatever, no big deal. I'll just go ahead and make a thumbnail or something for this video instead while he's moving his truck. No biggie. Boo-hoo. And then I thought about, like, you need to have multiple things you can do at any given time. Like, try and make it so that nobody can waste your time. Ever. Like, I have to take cars sometimes to a smog shop. A local smog shop. Sometimes our customers, they don't want to take their cars to smog. They don't know how it all works. So we help them out and we take the car to the smog shop. I get to drive some pretty sweet cars sometimes, guys. I got to drive a sweet old, I think it was a 78 Camaro today. No, it's an 80-something Camaro. I don't remember. It was pretty sweet, though, man. I felt like I should cut my hair into a mullet immediately, and Southern Style would just come out, and I'd be like, yeehaw. But anyhow, I have to wait there sometimes for like an hour, man. So I have multiple tasks on my phone that I can do at any time. My brother, I will totally credit my brother to this. I've watched him do it. He does it all the time. You can have notepad apps. You can answer comments. I've got it set up so that I can answer my YouTube comments on my phone. I got it all set up to do all sorts of different things, useful things. No games. No games are allowed on my phone. LP has no games. He has installed Angry Birds one time. It turned into a very big problem. Played it for 2 hours one time instead of editing a video. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to recognize this addiction, and I'm going to get rid of it. And it did not last long. I only download games for flying. That's it. Even then, I like to maybe write down ideas for this thing right here of things to talk about, maybe. I mean, you can do all sorts of things. Don't let nobody waste your time, ever. Be able to have multiple things to do. Like, some people can't wait to waste your time. Don't let them waste your time. There are people that want to talk to me sometimes in the gym. And I just think to myself, here's how this conversation's going to go. You're going to ask me, booty, booty, boo. And you're going to ask me, oh, hey, what do you do for work? And I'm going to say, oh, I do this and this. And I'm going to talk about YouTube. And you're going to ask me about YouTube. And you're going to ask me how much money it makes. And I'm going to say, nope, I don't really make any money on YouTube. And then you go, oh, why do you do that? I don't understand that. And then people realize I have fun and, like, I'm a positive person and they can't stand that. It's just a waste of time, man. Sometimes you just have to recognize, like, you have to see a personality and be like, boom, that person is going to waste my time. Run. Get out of there. Go as quick as you can. Sometimes, you know what? You might leave your Dr. Dre beats behind, but get out of there. Run. Go. Act like there's a grenade. Get away from those people, man. There are so many of those people at the gym. I hate to say it, but there's a lot of them, man. You know those people, they're just talking whole time they're at the gym. Their workout is not 1 hour. It is 3.5 to 5 hours. That's how long they work out for. You know those people where you'll be doing a cut or something, you'll be doing cardio in the morning and then going back and doing lifting at nighttime, and then you'll see them both times. Those are the people that I'm talking about. Those ones that are at the gym for a real long time. You might as well put a martini in their hand, man. Here, you want an olive with your martini? I've asked people if they want a rum and coke or a martini. They get very, very angry at me. But guess what? If you want to do talking, go to the nightclub. There are so many nightclubs around. You don't necessarily have to drink at the nightclub. You can just talk there. It's totally cool, man. Get a water. Ask them to put it into a martini glass. All of a sudden, you're not drinking, but people will think that you're drinking. Anyhow, I feel like I am definitely rambling on that subject. And now on to our next subject. And this may ruffle some feathers, may get some people's panties in a bunch when I talk about this. First of all, I just want to say that somebody wanted me to talk about, like, oh, talk about some meaty subjects like abortion. And I heard abortion and I was like, all right, I'll talk about something that I don't want to talk about it and say I'm for it or against it, okay? Because I'm never against or for. I try not to be. I try my best to never take sides on anything. Like, if you always just understand that you can be proven wrong, it's hard to take sides on anything. Like, you can have knowledge. You can be a very smart person. But you don't have to take sides on things. You don't have to, like, no, this is how it works, and this is right, and this is the only way that you do it, right here. If you don't take a side, your brain is open for knowledge, for things, to absorb things. But when you take a side and only the thing that you say is right, you ain't gonna learn nothing. You ain't gonna learn no things from nobody because you're already right. So why would you ever listen to what other people say? Am I wrong? Although, if you're one of those people, you probably definitely don't listen to this thing, and you probably definitely aren't listening to what I'm saying, so never mind. You're definitely not one of those people. You people are amazing. Anyhow, my next subject, I don't want to disturb anyone. I don't want to upset anyone with my points of view or anything like that. And basically, what I want to say about abortion is that it's terrible sometimes, things happen, but it's weird to me how in our country you have to have a permit to do everything. You got to pay, the tax man if you want to have a boat shop. You got to have the permits to work on boats. You got to take a boat fixing class where they teach you how to bondo boats and work on fiberglass and work on the plumbing, work on a carburetor of a boat, work on the props, the propeller that goes in the water, the pitch of the propeller. Does it go up? Does it go down? Okay, you're a certified mechanic now. You can work on boats, sir. It's weird to me in our country, there ain't no, classes. There ain't no certification. There's no proficiency test. There's no nothing for having a child. Now, the implications of regulating who has a child, it's weird. You can't go sterilizing people or whatever and making them sterile or whatever, like with shots. I don't know how you do it, but sometimes I feel like there are people that probably shouldn't have kids. Am I wrong? Like when you're in the airport and you're like, man, look at that weird guy. He seems like a very, very strange, pervy, weird guy. Man, look at him. Is he dipping a Cinnabon into barbecue sauce right now? He's dipping a Cinnabon into barbecue sauce, and now he's putting it in salsa, and now he's putting it in his mouth. That weird guy that I'm talking about right now, that guy can have kids in your country. It's weird to me. It's very, very strange. I don't know. I feel like there should be some kind of regulation, something. At some point, after you do this and this, you're not really supposed to have kids anymore. And I don't know how they regulate it. The implications of that are very what do they do? Arrest you and then shoot you with a shot that makes you sterile or something. I don't know. Are they tying women's tubes in camps or something and the sides of the side? That part is not what I'm talking about. I'm not trying to get into that part. I just find it interesting that just about anybody can have a child. That's weird to me. Me personally, I don't feel like I am not a person that. Are you serious? Me? That is not a good idea. But then there are people that are so mentally unstable. You guys know those people I'm talking about. It looks like they're normal. they've got the house and they've got the nice SUV and the blonde wife and the 3 kids or whatever, but by no means are they stable mentally. Like the passive aggressive things and the strange underlying weird mental problems that are going on in some families and situations and stuff. Some people should not be having children. And in my personal opinion, like, so let's talk about, if I was certified to work on boats and, I know how to repair the fiberglass on a boat, whatever. If I mess up a boat, the boat's going to sink. Guy's probably going to be stuck in the lake or whatever in the bay. Nothing really, it sucks, but it's not that bad. I chose kind of a bad example. But if you have a child and you don't know how to raise a child and you're just like this terrible person, or, your life is just not garnished for having a child, and you raise this child in this terrible environment and, just show them everything morally wrong, you don't even want them or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, that sucks, man. Like, that's somebody's, like, life. That's a little person's life, And anybody can have one of those and ruin somebody's life, Sometimes I see people walk around with kids. I hate to get passionate, and I hate to say this. I don't mean to say negative things, but sometimes I see people walking around with kids, and I'm like, man, that's just like a little thing that you have to have because you just had it, and like you hate it. You really don't like it at all. Like, the body language that you're putting off is that you definitely don't like that kid. You know what I mean? Like, I know you guys have seen those people. I'm not saying what retail stores you see them in. What? But like, that sucks, man. Like, you had something. You brought a being into this world, and you like messed up their whole life. Because you're not capable. That sucks. And I know, a lot of people have kids by accident and stuff like that, but if you shouldn't have kids, and you shouldn't have kids, we should find better ways of making that not happen. You know what I mean? I don't know how to do that morally and not, violate people's constitutional rights and stuff like that, but yeah, man, I just think it's real strange how anybody can have a kid. It's just kind of strange to me. I don't really like it. Oh man, I sure hope I didn't offend anybody with that. But anywho, I'm going to move on to our next subject, and that is worrying about what other people are doing. Guess what, my sweet Petunia? It don't matter what anybody else is doing. It don't really affect you. Like, what, I see some people sometimes, like, what kind of job do you have? Oh, you work at I don't know. Oh, you work at a Chipotle. Okay. Then what does, like, dude at the gym, why are you looking at him and like talking about him to your friends, and like it doesn't really affect you like at all. Like, a lot of people are really worried about what others do. I see some people sometimes watching me work out, and like they are just full on analyzing every single thing that I'm doing. Like, I've seen guys, it's very frustrating. It's hard not to say anything. It's hard not to stare back, but I've seen guys, a group of them, analyze what I was doing and have a full discussion. Like, even point at parts of the shoulder and like make movements and stuff. And I'm like, all I could think of, it was like 3 dudes standing there, not working out, not making any gains, but talking about what somebody else is doing. And this brings me back to my other point, TV, man. Like, a lot of people get really, really mad at me when they start talking to me about like football or the latest episode of, I don't know what's popular on TV because I don't care at all. But anyhow, people get real mad at me because I just don't care. I do not care. Because guess what? because I don't care about whatever person on American Idol, I have room for memorizing a shortcut in Sony Vegas, the editing software that I use for videos. See what I mean? Or I can learn a new trick in Photoshop or something like that, instead of wasting the memory in my brain on what kind of cake is this guy going to make on the next reality cake show extravaganza boss, whatever stupid thing. It's like TV, man. It's just so bad. Here I am ranting about TV again. Yeah, but I feel like people are just so worried about what others are doing all the time. They're just so worried about what others are doing. And then some people gets to a point where they get so worried about what others are doing, they have to control other people. Now, I've seen this quite a few times. I've had a lot of jobs, and you can observe this all the time. I mean, not even at your jobs, in your daily life. People have to control other people. They just love controlling other people. Like, that's really what they like doing. And what's disappointing about that craving to control people is that whenever you try to control all the time and you always tell people what to do, always, all the time, you're always telling people what to do, those people become reliant upon your commands. And then all of a sudden, when you're not around no more, they don't know what in the hell to do. They're just standing there with their hands in their pockets because you told them what to do all the time. Basically, they're completely lacking independent thought. They don't have no independent thought, man. You're telling them what to do all the time. Sorry, man. Give me a script of what to do, and then all of a sudden you yanked it out right from under me. I don't know what to do no more, man. Just kind of standing here. Nothing. Ain't got nothing. It's I always get really disturbed at how much people have to control other people. And then, like, when you think about that theory and, like, you know, you'll see a girl somewhere and then a more attractive girl walks into the same establishment that they're in, and that girl just, like, mentally loses it because all of a sudden she's not in control. She's not like the alpha woman. You know, she's not the prettiest thing in the room. So she just loses it, man. Like, people really dig that control thing. It's really bad. When you start looking at some, like, boyfriend-girlfriend combinations, and you start looking at the control thing, how much people really like controlling other people. Like, I have this thing where it's called the, if you ride a loud motorcycle, whatever, I apologize, but sometimes you see people riding really loud motorcycles with, like, no mufflers, nothing at all. And sometimes they're just, like, making noise to make noise. They're just, like, they just kind of hit the, wow, 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 wow. And it's kind of like a little kid with with like a toy, like a little bell toy or a rattle or something that makes noise. They rattle it and it makes noise. It makes them happy. They're like, oh, I'm going to rattle again. Oh, it made noise again. Hey, look at that. I'm in control of this. I control this little thing that makes noise. It makes noise when I want it to make noise. When you start thinking about that and you start looking at how some people, like, they, like, drive their cars or ride their loud motorcycles or whatever, it's like they're always trying to make noise all the time. They're trying to control this thing. It's like this stupid thing, like, hey, look at me. I put my foot to the floor. It makes noise. Look at that. Why am I making noise? I don't even know why. I just like making it make noise because I'm in control of that. It's weird, man. Like, I don't know, man. People get really, really wrapped up in that control thing. As soon as you realize that you can't control everything, it's weird. You gain this control on your life. Like, you realize, like, I can't control, if the light's going to be red at the intersection. So I need to adapt accordingly. You become more calm and more collected. It's really crazy. Like, me with my stupid cell phone situation today. I need to just understand that cell phone companies are the devil. They are evil corporations that are just going to forever infinitely profit off of us human beings, and that's just how it's going to be. I just need to live with it. and I have you people to talk to about it, so that's great, you know? I mean, it ain't that bad. See what I mean? As soon as you realize something, all of a sudden it's just better. It's a lot better. And talking about realizing stuff, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about something else now, and that is just people coming to realizations about things. I feel like it's it's rare. Like, I don't know. I feel like me and my brother, we have conversations all the time where we come to realizations about things quite often. Well, not quite often, but sometimes when you come to a realization about something, it ain't a pleasant reality that you just came to. And I feel as though in our society, a lot of people they won't even start to explore things because they kind of already know the answer, and they just won't even touch it at all, not a bit. But I mean, the one thing that people do need to understand is that someone needs to be investigating the terrible things in our society. And if there's no one, like, I mean, let's say our government is doing some just horrible, terrible things to us. Who knows what they're doing? And I'm not saying that's what's going on, but let's just say we're all just, we're all always telling each other, like, oh, you shouldn't be talking about that. That's not good. That's bad. Then it's just going to keep going, man. Like, somebody needs to be checking things out. Somebody needs to be the weirdo that is wearing an aluminum foil, a cap on their head or whatever they're doing to keep the aliens out. We need those people. Like, there needs to be crazy people. Like, I really, like, quote unquote crazy people, because some people aren't crazy. Sometimes maybe the guy did get abducted by aliens. You don't know. You never know. Maybe he did talk to him in his sleep. Maybe he invaded his dreams. You never know, man. But what I'm saying is that if nobody's ever looking, ever, like the entire, let's just say we're a big giant ant colony, all right? And there's a big bear coming, and he's about to step on our ant colony, and everybody's about to die. If everybody just looked at each other and was like, oh, no, 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 just don't talk about the bear coming. Don't talk about the bear coming. That's not good. Don't talk about that's negative. Don't talk about that. Boom. Squish. Everybody's going to get squished because the bear is going to step on the anthill. Done. As soon as you look at it like that, it's like, how come people are so negative towards anyone that, like, tries to come up with any kind of alternate theory besides, the general public theory of, whatever news is feeding people, or whatever, our media is feeding people. It just really disturbs me sometimes how, people are called, like, conspiracy theorist. Man, I really don't like that word. I don't like conspiracy theory. It's an okay word. I understand the definition of it. Sometimes I just feel like how come people can't just, like, research things and not necessarily come up with definites, just kind of find things interesting and then make statements. Just be like, hey, I found this. This is kind of interesting, isn't it? You go ahead and be the judge. Those people are quite often called conspiracy theorists because they found something interesting and they're like, hey, man, shouldn't people see this? But no, because it wasn't, put on in the newspaper, or it wasn't on television, or whatever, pacifier a person decides to suck on daily. They just don't understand it. It's just not something for them because it's outside of their realm. They'd choose to reject it. They would rather have the bear paw just come down and squish them immediately. They'd rather be that ant. Me personally, I want to see when there's a big bear paw coming, because there's a chance I'm pretty quick on my feet. I could run out from under that bear paw. I mean, I don't know, man. When you look at it that way, like let's just say let's just put it like this. Like, we're all in a big baseball stadium. It's packed. And we know that there's a big bomb that is about to go off. But we have the time to get out of there if we do it organized. If we do it in an organized way. What if everyone in that stadium just decided to say, "Oh, no, don't talk about that. You're just being really negative. You know, that's just, you shouldn't talk about that. That's not okay." Everybody dies. I mean, a few people will escape because they're going to have the common sense. They're going to be like, I really don't look at it as negativity. I look at it as I'm looking at fact here, and I'm going to get out of here because I'm going to die. That's not good. Sometimes when you look at the way things are going in government, when you look at the corporate world, when you look at how things are moving sometimes, it gets really, really frightening. And sometimes I feel like people need to be woken up. Sometimes there's people need to be researching that stuff. People need to be talking about it. But a lot of people decide to say, "Oh, no, that's negative. You shouldn't be doing that." Well, somebody needs to. Somebody needs to be thinking about that stuff. And if you don't want to, that's completely fine. But don't, speak negatively or think that someone's stupid because they are the one that are, choosing to look into these things. Because sometimes, man, you hear some stuff that's going on, like there's evil, terrible people around that are in charge of big things and make lots of money, like a lot of money, lots and lots of money. And they're doing bad things, and no one cares because, that's negative. You shouldn't be thinking about that. All right, guys, you know what? It is getting pretty long here. I'm approaching, I believe, 51 minutes, and that's a world record for the LP Variety Hour. That is the longest one that I've ever made. I have been sitting here for so long, and I can tell you that my quads are on fire from the workout that I just did. Literally, like, they feel like sticks of dynamite on my legs. It is so bad. They're like waiting to explode. It's so terrible. I need to fascia roll these like more than like a buffalo's behind in a cold prairie on a December midnight. Thank you guys all for joining me. Of course, I want to seriously, guys, your positive comments are so awesome. Thank you very much. This is getting very, very long, so I am going to end this right now.